Hi, I'm Kate Brewington with Kurt and Kate Mornings, and we are going to Ireland. You may have heard that. We've been talking about it for a while. We're going October 17th through the 24th, and it is 8 days of Irish splendor. It's going to be so wonderful. And a lot of people have already signed up to come along with us. And the good news is I am not making all the reservations. That is the really good news. Instead, we put it in the most capable hands of Collette, the premier travel company. And so to tell us about all the ins and outs and the trip itself, from a person who's been to Ireland several times, we have Jim Edwards, who is the Vice President of Global Affinity Development. Jim, thanks so much for being with us and filling us in a few more dots here.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Kate, for having me this morning. It's a pleasure. And boy, I love talking about the Emerald Isle. But
Ah,
just a little bit about Colette, just so folks know
sure.
that they're in good hands. I think we've got a really great story. We're the oldest running travel operator, travel company in North America, maybe the world. We've been around since
Wow.
1818. Yeah, so we're 107th year in business, and we're really proud of the fact that we're still a family-owned, multinational company based
Wow.
in Pawtucket, Rhode Island, American company. And we offer a premium product, which means that we're going to have you in great hotels. Hotels like the Chateau Lake Louise in the Canadian Rockies, the Greenbrier Resort in West Virginia, the Jekyll Island Club, Castle in Ireland. You can't
Yes.
go to Ireland and not stay in the castle, we believe.
Yeah,
So
I
we
looked up
cover.
at a few of the hotels we're going to. They're award winning for one reason or another. So really, and as we travel to Ireland, you will need chargers, different chargers, right? Because of the electric voltage.
Yeah, exactly. It's 220, 240 voltage. So I usually tell folks to go to maybe a Target or a Walmart. You can buy a converter charger that converts that electricity for you. It's one piece, so you don't have to fumble with all the different attachments, and it'll come in handy for your next trip. If maybe
Yeah,
you're in
yeah,
Asia or Africa,
that's
they're all different. But the other thing, Kate, is most people might have seen us on TV as well. Yeah,
oh
if you've
yeah,
been tuning in to the Wheel of Fortune for the last 3 decades, you might have seen Pat and Vanna, and now even Ryan Seacrest is spinning the wheel. And when that lands on a travel icon, those are collect trips that are being given away. So, just a little tidbit of information. You probably thought about the name and say, I've heard it somewhere.
yes,
That's
this
where
is
collect
it.
comes from. Yes.
That's great. Well, now tell us about our trip. We have some great highlights. We're really hitting a lot of the big places you definitely want to see. So we'll start off in Dublin.
Yes, yes, ma'am. So first, travel is booming. Travel is booming. Europe is
Mhm.
in high demand, several reasons why. And I just want to make a mention that we only have 10 or 12 seats left. So folks, I
Okay.
would really, really encourage you that if you're planning on going, give us a call at 800-581-8942 to learn more. Or you could go to moodyflorida.org to
Moody
click on that
Radio,
image.
Florida. Yeah, go ahead.
There you go. Yep.
You know
But
what's the easy way for our listeners? All they have to do is text the word Ireland to triple
mm,
eight triple seven 6810. Just the word Ireland, and you'll get a link to the Colette page and all the information you could want.
that's even easier. That's excellent. Yeah. So just a little highlight of the trip. It's an 8-day itinerary, October 17th to the 24th. We include airfare as well. So from your home gateway. So might have some folks who live in Tampa. Maybe there's some folks who want to fly out of Miami or Fort Lauderdale or even Orlando. No worries. You just let us know where you're coming from and we'll get you air from all those gateways.
I
Outside of
love
Florida as
that.
well. You have family members who might want to come. But 2 nights in Dublin, 2 nights in Killarney in that beautiful area, one night in Ennis, and then one night in your own very own castle. It's a 12th century castle, and we'll take in all the must-sees, like, of course, Dublin, and have an Irish evening that first night for dinner. And we're going to include most of the meals. Most of the meals are going to be in local restaurants. Sometimes the hotels have great restaurants too, but
Mhm.
you really learn about the people when you're dining at local restaurants or pubs even. But after that, we'll head down towards the Rock of Cashel. We'll see where St. Patrick baptized King Angus back in 450 AD. We'll go to Killarney. We'll even bend over backwards and kiss the Blarney Stone. Get a chance to get the gift of eloquent speech. Um, then it's off to the West Coast and see that beautiful Dingle Peninsula. It's just
Yeah.
breathtaking scenery over on the West Coast. And one of my favorite parts of this itinerary is we actually visit a family farm. And this is the Milana Dairy Farm. And Patty and Margaret, it's been in their family for generations. You have a chance to talk with Patty and Margaret, have scones, coffee,
Mhm.
tea, and really, really enjoy their story. And they've got a great story that farm dates back generations. And you'll even have a sheepdog demonstration there as well. But then it's on to Clonbicnoise, one of the oldest monastic settlements in all of Ireland. Um, we're going to see so much and
Yeah.
experience so much. You'll feel like each day gets better than the one before as we arrive into our castle for the night. And
We're
that's
seeing
something
such a
to look forward.
huge chunk of the country. Yes. I mean, we'll
Yeah.
the global city of Dublin, and then the wild Atlantic Way, which is from everyone I know who's gone, it's breathtaking. We just there isn't land like that in most places anymore.
You know, I left out one important place that you're going to visit, and it's right on our, after we go to the farm, we're going to go to the Cliffs of Moher.
Oh,
And
yes.
there is where
Hmm.
the rocks rise some 700 feet from the Atlantic Ocean over in that beautiful West Coast region. And it is just breathtaking, spectacular scenery. And it's the most photographed area in all of Dublin. So you're going to be standing right there on the Cliffs of Moher.
Yeah. And one thing I've heard about Collette trips is that you also get a section of free time. It's not like you plan every second of every minute of every day, which is really nice. So if we're in Dublin, we have a little bit of free time if there's something we definitely want to see.
Absolutely. Yeah, we don't include every single meal. Typically, lunches are on your own, and that's where you can do some independent sightseeing. And we're always going to leave you in an area that's got several different options for you. If you want to go to a pub and have lunch, if you want to go do some shopping, you've got those opportunities. And of course, you've got a guide with you from start to finish. And I think that's the big difference too, is you've got almost like a personal concierge that's going to be with your group, Kate, and taking you from start to finish, from the time you clear customs to the time you get back on the plane. They'll be with you every step of the way.
And I love that. That is so important. So you've been to Ireland many times. What are some of your favorite things? So do you have any must-sees?
So I love it all. It's really hard to pick one place, but that West Coast region is where I just fell in love. But I lived in Tennessee for a while, and you hear about Southern hospitality, and it is true. There's definitely some
Yeah.
great stories to be told. But the people of Ireland are just so kind and generous and just welcoming, and it's something that you'll come away with, and you'll want to go back time and time again. But the West Coast is beautiful. The Ring of Kerry, the Dingle Peninsula, and the Cliffs of Moher are my favorite. But I got to say that the castle too is pretty special. You know, it's a 12th century castle, and it's said to be haunted. At least I thought that when I stayed the night. So I thought I was hearing screams throughout the night, and turns out the next morning I woke up, took a little walk into the gardens, beautiful gardens in the back, and wouldn't you know, there's all kinds of peacocks there.
Oh,
That was the
screaming.
scream.
Oh, yes. Yeah, they do have different animals there as well, because I know foxes scream like that too. That could be off-putting, but really fun if you think it's just in the castle. So we will go to the castle. We'll go to all these wonderful hotels and see all these people. My grandparents were come from an island off of Connemara, off in the wild Atlantic Way, actually. There are only 1,000 people living there now. But so I'm really looking forward to that. And I really want what do we need to know to be ready? I mean, I know you have a list and some great information on your website about what we need technically, but is there anything else you would suggest? I'm like TSA pre-check kind of thing? Is that a good idea?
Yeah, I think for folks who want to have a little bit quicker time through the lines, TSA pre-check is always a good idea. Double check your passport because you want to make sure that your passport has 6 months validity left. So you
Yeah.
don't want that to expire prior to April of 2026. So just take a look at that. If you don't have a passport, no worries. You still have time to get one. But yeah, great questions on that. When you go to the trip webpage, when you text, you'll get that link, or you can just go to the Moody Radio website and see that trip webpage. But there you'll have all the know before you go information. If you go down toward the bottom, you can click weather, you can click luggage because the luggage will be give you dimensions and size limitations. But you don't really even have to worry about any of that right now because about 3 weeks before departure, we're going to have a webinar. And everyone who's going, we're going to invite you to come, and we're going to have documents in your hands that we'll mail to everybody. And we're going to go through every piece of the documents and make sure that you have all the information that you need and you have
That's
all
why we
your
put it in your
questions answered.
capable hands, right? Because you're you're the experts, and I love that. So, well, again, all you have to do, you can go to moodyradio.org/Florida, or a simple way to get all the information and the information about Collette as well is text the word Ireland to 888-777-6810. That's 888-777-6810. And there's a few more seats left.
That's right. We only have about 10 or 12 seats last time I looked that are available. So again, I say don't wait, don't miss out. You're going to have a wonderful time in Ireland with Kate, and we can't wait to show you Ireland, Kate.
Thank you, Jim. Collette, thank you so much. And again, text the word Ireland to 888-777-6810.